Kia ora, Helen Brahms here coming to you live from Mesa in Arizona. I hope you're all having a super fantastic sparkling start to your Tune Up Tuesday. Yes, today we could either make some tweaks and changes to tune up the business, or we can make some tweaks and changes to our mindset. Sometimes the tweaks and changes we make in either business or our mindset is something small, or it's something massive, or somewhere in between. So today we're going to be looking at 7 steps you can use each day to tune up your mindset. Woo! I had fun compiling this list. So here we go. Number 1, challenge your thoughts. When you say you can't do something, is it because you are unable to because you're actually excuse me. Haven't even had breakfast yet. Okay, so challenge your thoughts. When you say you can't do something, is it actually because you are physically unable to do it without making any changes, or is it because you are afraid to take that step and try it? It's too uncomfortable for you. Challenge your thoughts. When you come up and you say, I can't do this, really look at why you think you can't do it. Now, it could be a physical challenge that there's a reason that you're unable to do that. Is there a way around that physical challenge so you can do that? So start changing it from I can't do this to how can I? So look at it that way. So it's a twist on the words and looking at it from a different perspective. Hang on, this is annoying me. 1 second. Quick hair do. All right, that's better. Hair in my eyes. So it's a change on mindset, a change of language. So if you're looking at something that you're unable to do physically, is there a way that you can make some tweaks and changes that could possibly make it work? If not, that's okay. Or are you putting up the wall because you're too afraid to try and find a way around that wall, try and find a way to accomplish whatever it is that you're saying you can't do? I can't go out and talk to one new person today. Why not? Challenge yourself. Challenge your thought processes. Every time you come up with a thought that's on the negative, challenge it. Why am I having that negative thought? Well, that person sucks. Why do they suck? Is it just because there's something about them that doesn't feel right with you? Is it because they appear to have their shit together, and you're sort of like, well, I can't do that. Why can't you? Why can't you be the best person you can be? They are being the best person that they can be, or they are attempting to be the best person they can be. It's all about challenging your thoughts. Why are you having these thoughts? What is the real reason behind those thoughts? Who are your influencers? Look at your family, your friends, your coaches, your mentors, public figures, people that you follow, people you interact with. What do they do to support you, or do they tear you down? Are they giving you good feedback on things, or are they giving feedback because they're giving you bad feedback because they've never tried what you're attempting to do? I find it amusing when people turn around to people who want to start their own business and they're taking advice from people who have never had a business. So look at who you're asking your questions to. Look at who you've got influencing your life. Are you having influences from people who have been where you have been and have achieved what you want to achieve? Or are you taking your advice from people who have never stepped out of their comfort zone, have never owned a business, never been an entrepreneur, never been a creative person, and think of them, trying to think of what's the example. Oh, the crabs in the bucket. They've got that single mindset, and anybody who tries to break away, they try and pull them back in. Who are the influences in your life? Not saying you need to disassociate from friends and family and that. Definitely not. I love my family. I have the utmost respect for my family. They are where they are. I am where I am. Yes, we may have a clashing of minds at times, but underneath we love each other. And that's the important thing. And we can communicate without arguing, which is cool too. And we can have that open communication. And we know where everybody stands. Volunteer. So in this one here, it's not necessarily going down to a nonprofit, a food bank, or a shelter or something like that, where you're volunteering your time. It could also be in the fact that you use your story, your challenges that you've overcome or that you are going through, to help others who are on a similar journey to you. I do this all the time. I have when going through Brad's cancer treatments and everything else as a caregiver. I volunteered with Imam and Angels, and I would talk with other caregivers about who are just starting that journey, their spouse had just been diagnosed, may not be the same cancer, but there's a lot of similarities between cancers, between dealing with spouses who suddenly feel out of control in their life and they need to control every minute detail. Um, Suddenly, arguments with doctors, arguments with the spouse, feelings that they're going through. Because, it's a grieving process. When you start on a cancer journey, you're actually going on a grieving process because you do grieve the life that you used to have that is no longer what it used to be. Because there's changes you have to make for treatments and things like that. And when you come out the other side, you're a completely different person from when you started. So just volunteering to and reaching out to friends who are going through. I've got a few friends who have had spouses pass on them in the last year. And I've reached out to them anytime they feel like they need to talk to somebody who has been through that experience. I'm always available to them. And I've had some amazing conversations with them. And other times it's just sitting there and listening. Just listening to them pour out their heart, pour out their emotions at the time, and just being that shoulder for them to cry on, even if it's done by phone or by Zoom or whatever, by text messages. It's just being there for the other person. So volunteer. And if you think you don't have a story, look back over your life. Look back over your life. Look at, were you bullied in school? Were you the oldest and always, or the oldest child, and always appeared that everything was getting tested on you, and then the other ones had the easier ride. The other siblings had the easier ride. I had that argument with my parents. Have you had to move a lot of times? Have you always been the new kid on the block? Yes, been there, done that. There are so many things that people have experienced that they don't realize that their story can actually help somebody. Your story is important. Your life is important. Your story needs to be told. There is somebody out there who needs to hear your story. You may only tell you may tell your story to millions of people, thousands of people, hundreds of people, but it will click with that one person that needs to hear your story. It doesn't matter how many times you tell, if you can help one person, it is so worth the price of telling your story. You may be afraid to do it. Why are you afraid? Go back and challenge your thoughts on that. Number 4, immense and positive. Self-talk. How are you talking to yourself? Are you talking to yourself in a positive way, or are you tearing yourself down? If you're tearing yourself down, challenge your thoughts. What books are you reading? What movies are you watching? What TV are you watching? Are you constantly watching the news? Which is number 5, limiting the bad stuff. But back to immersing the positive. What are you listening to? What are you watching? Look at what incoming thoughts and stuff, what stuff from the outside world is coming in and influencing your life, influencing your thoughts. Is it positive? And that includes what's going on up in here between these two things. What's going on inside the brain here, the grey mushy stuff. Is that helping you get a positive outlook on life? Number 5, limit the bad stuff. Turn off the news. It's as simple as that. Stop the newspaper. I will tell you this, the day I canceled my subscription to the newspaper was the best day of my life. And when I started turning off the news, that was even better because I wasn't getting that constant barrage of murders and crime, all sorts of different crime stuff going on, the politics, everything. I turned it off. Yes, I am. Some people probably think that you need to know what's up. That's fine. I have a news app on my phone, and all I do is I just scroll through the headlines. If anything piques my interest, I will stop. I might read that article, I might not. It may just be the headline. So like, oh, what's that about? Read the first paragraph? No, not interested, carry on. But it is enough for me. And then there's sometimes that you hear of stuff, and social media is great at blowing things up. So now it's sort of like, okay, social media is blowing up about this, that, and the other thing. What is the true story? And then you go and do some research and find out what the actual story is. Because the news, the media, their job is to sensationalize the crap out of stuff as much as they can and make it sound way worse than what it is. But there are times that, yes, it is a serious situation and you do need to take a caution of it, but you need to be realistic about what's being said as well. I altered the numbers on these. Number 6, what are your wins today? Keep a journal every day, and you can even just type the list on the computer. You can, get an actual journal. This one's called My Life Journey, My Life Adventures. There's a little compass on it. That cool. It's even got my name on it. This is the one I'm using now. I'm on my 4th or 5th journal for my daily lives. It's my daily life journal. So what were we saying? Oh yeah, what are your wins for the day? So journal each night. Sit down and write out what were my wins today. Did I get that project finished before the deadline? Did I secure a new client today? Did I get a new proposal out today? What wins did you have today? Did I get through the day without um, did I get through the day taking breaks throughout the day, or did I work through the whole day solid? Did I actually follow my time blocks on my calendar? Whatever the wins are, did I choose not to have that piece of cake and instead had some yogurt? Did I make a healthier choice? Whatever your wins are for today, celebrate them. Number 7 is the biggest one, and it's always going to be there. We talk about this every Thursday, and that is gratitude. It is starting your day with a grateful heart. When you wake up in the morning, what are you grateful for? It's keeping a gratitude journal. It's writing down things that you're thankful for every day. I do this every night before I go to bed. I sit there and I journal out all the things that happened that day, what I am grateful for about the day, and that can even lead into what my wins were, and that also covers my wins for the day as well. It's a huge way to be able to go to bed in a positive mood. And then send out thank you cards. I love sending thank you cards. I'm been a little lax the last few months, I admit, but I am making an effort now every day I've got on my calendar, I've got this time block where I go in and I'm sending out cards. I'm sending out thank you cards, making sure the birthday cards are going out. So you'll start seeing, so those of you who are on my mailing list will start seeing a lot more stuff starting to come through more on a more regular basis, because I'm getting back into the habit. I got out of that habit. I'm getting back into it because it is so important to acknowledge people for what they did for you. It could be the simple fact that, hey, you got to meet them on a Zoom for the first time and you had a conversation with them and you had that connection with them. It could be that that somebody met you at a coffee shop or something like that. It could be that somebody did something nice for you. Say thank you. It could be something as simple as somebody holding a door open for you and you thank them for that. The guys that do my groceries for me. And sorry, my dog has got a new favorite hobby right now. It could be somebody like the guys that do my groceries for me. They come up there. I have the door open, but I have the screen closed. And when they call, I let them know that I'm unable to wear a mask and where to leave the groceries. And they say that's fine. And so they know exactly where to leave the groceries. And I can talk to them through the screen door. I stay at the top of my stairs and talk to them through the screen door. Meanwhile, me, a little butt going, a little tail going, and you got any treats? People who come to my door always bring me treats, type of thing. So she is such a delight. She brings laughter into my life. But I'm able to talk through the door and tell them how much I appreciate the fact that they took time out of their day to go do my groceries. Even though I'm tipping them for the thing, and even though they're getting paid to do it, I am still appreciative of the fact that they went and got my groceries for me. And if they get them to me and I always pick the within 2 hours, if they get them to me in an hour or less or just over an hour, I'm like, wow, that was super fast. Thank you so much for getting this, for getting it done so quickly. I appreciate it. So, it's letting them know just how much you appreciate them. From the small details to the big details. Say thank you for everything. Always be thankful, no matter what situation you're in. If you're going through a bad situation and you're like, well, how the hell am I supposed to be grateful for that? Be grateful you are in that situation and going through it, because you are going to learn from that situation. You are going to learn, you're going to stretch, you're going to grow. It's just how it is. All the stuff that I've been through, Brad's cancer journey, everything we've been through, all the ups and downs that we went through, I was grateful for every situation we went through, because I learned something new. I learned something about myself. I stretched, I grew. If you had met me 13 years ago, before this whole process started, I was a completely different person. Completely different. I had not earned the right to say I'm super fantastic and sparkling. That whole 18-month journey and then the move to California, that whole 2-year time period there, that was a big growing time for me. And by the time I hit California, I had arrived and I was super fantastic and sparkling, and have been that way ever since. I had put the blood, sweat, and tears into earning the right to do that, to be that way, and coming out. And a lot of what got me through was gratitude and faith. Those were the two main things that got me through. And with gratitude, it's always based in love. It always comes from a place of love. So there's love, gratitude, and faith. Those are the three things that got me through the toughest times when I didn't have anybody I could lean on at the time. I ended up with a great support group of people who were absolutely super fantastic and sparkling. And some of them I'm still in contact with today. So I got to head out. I got to go get on another call right now. I got to get on my daily training call. But those are your 7 steps for a mindset today. So we've got challenge your thoughts. Who are your influences? Volunteer. Tell your story. Immense in the positive. Number 5 was limit the bad stuff. Number 6 was what are your wins today? And number 7 is gratitude. Have a super fantastic sparkling tune-up Tuesday, and we will catch you guys later this afternoon. Hei konera.